To a plain family, spending $4 or $5 on a single piece of fruit in the middle of a bitter winter is a very serious decision. That is hard-earned money. It represents hours of honest physical labor out in the cold barn of the wood shop, and you do not simply throw that kind of effort away on a gamble. Yet, when most folks go into the modern English grocery stores, they rush down the aisles with their metal carts, completely distracted by their surroundings, and they blindly grab the very first pineapple they see resting on top of the massive display pile. They just want to get their shopping done and get back to their warm cars. They get that expensive fruit home, take their best kitchen knife to it, and quickly find out the bright yellow meat inside is as hard as green hickory wood and as bitter as an unripe persimmon. To us, that is not just a bad day at the store. That is a minor sin of waste. You have spent your money on something that belongs in the compost pile instead of on your family's plates. Today, I am going to share with you the 4 specific things the old folks taught me to look for, so you can choose a perfectly sweet, drippingly juicy pineapple every single time you open your coin purse. I will warn you right now, the 4th and final step is the absolute most important of them all, and it is the exact one that almost everyone forgets to do. Stick around, and because I do not believe in wasting time, I will also show you a lightning-fast 60-second farm method to properly clean and cut the fruit without wasting a single drop of that expensive sweet meat or needing any fancy tools. Out here in the country, when the deep, heavy snow sets in around January, and the fields go entirely to sleep under a blanket of white, our daily meals become very predictable. We eat the reliable, hard-baking apples we carefully put down in the wooden cellar bins last October. We eat the heavy root vegetables, the potatoes, the turnips, and the carrots, that we stored away in damp sand to keep them from shriveling. And we eat the summer preserves my wife patiently put up in glass mason jars during the sweltering heat of August. Our winter diet is honest and sustaining, but it is entirely local. So when the weather finally breaks just enough to clear the lanes, and we take the horse and buggy into town for the heavy bulk supplies we cannot easily produce ourselves, stepping into the bright, humming electric lights of the grocery store is a special occasion. Walking past the fresh produce section and finding a tropical fruit that comes from a completely different world, a place that has never seen a single snowflake, is a real marvel to the eyes. The stores know this, and they stack them up under special warm lights designed to make them look as appealing as possible. But whether your local store carries the beautifully patterned Del Monte Gold with its perfect little diamond shapes, or the more common, unevenly blotched MD2 variety, you do not need to worry about being fooled. The old rules for reading the fruit remain exactly the same. The first thing you want to look for, before you ever reach out your hand and touch the fruit, is the color. You must understand that the commercial fruit companies demand these pineapples be picked very early so they can survive being shipped thousands of miles in the dark holds of cargo trucks and boats. Because of that long journey, you are looking for a fruit where at least half of the entire surface area has finally turned a rich golden yellow, starting from the bottom and creeping upward. If you look at a pineapple and it is entirely green from the base to the crown, and it feels as hard as a river stone against your knuckles when you tap it, that fruit will never sweeten properly on your kitchen counter. No matter what the store manager tells you, a pineapple stops ripening the moment it is cut from the vine. If it is green at the store, it will stay sour at home. Put it back on the pile. On the other hand, if it is completely solidly dark yellow from top to bottom and it feels soft and squishy under your thumbs, it has gone too far and is already beginning to ferment inside its own skin. You want that perfect balance of heavy gold creeping up through the green. The second thing you must look at is the crown sitting on top of the fruit. The leaves will always tell you the honest truth about whether that pineapple was freshly picked this week or if it has been sitting forgotten in a cold shipping container for a month. You are looking for firm, vibrant, healthy-looking green leaves. If the leaves are dried out, shriveled, and have nasty brown, brittle edges flaking off, the fruit is old and spent. But looking is only half of the secret. There is a specific, practical trick you can do right there in the aisle that takes only 2 seconds. Reach down, grab a single leaf at the very top, dead center of the crown, and give it a firm, quick pull. If that center leaf pulls out easily, with almost no resistance, you are holding a ripe fruit that is ready to be eaten. If you have to yank hard and fight the pineapple to get that leaf loose, the flesh hidden inside is simply not ready. The third step requires you to put down the fruit you are currently holding and pick up a few others from the display to compare them against each other. Close your eyes for a moment if it helps you concentrate and truly feel the weight of the fruit resting in your bare hands. A good, proper pineapple should feel surprisingly heavy for its physical size. When it feels dense and weighty, that means the inside is incredibly juicy and bursting with heavy natural water. A light pineapple has slowly dried out inside during its long journey. You are paying good money for the sweet tropical juice, not for dry, woody fiber, so always choose the heaviest one on the display. Those first three steps, the color, the leaf pull, and the heavy weight, will get you very close to a perfect choice. But this fourth and final step is the absolute guarantee I warned you about earlier, and it is the one the English rush past and forget to do the most. Turn the pineapple completely upside down and bring the flat bottom base right up to your nose. Breathe in deep. A ripe, ready pineapple will have a rich, beautifully sweet aroma radiating right out of the bottom where the sugars concentrate. You will literally know exactly what that fruit tastes like right there in the middle of the store before you ever buy it. If you hold it to your nose and it has absolutely no smell at all, I promise you it will have no taste at all when you cut it open. It is the most reliable test nature gives us. Now, let us move out of the cold air and over to the warmth of the farm kitchen. But please, listen to me very carefully on this. If you go to the store right now with only those 4 picking steps, you are going to ruin all the careful work you just did there. The way you cut this fruit actually determines how it tastes on the plate. If you just hack at it like you are chopping kindling wood for the stove, you will leave behind hidden, bitter elements that will completely overpower the sweetness you just paid for. You are missing the final secret to unlocking its true flavor. You have to respect the fruit, but you also do not need to spend 10 minutes working on it. Stay with me and I will show you our quick 60-second farm method to maximize every single drop of that expensive sweet meat. Lay the pineapple flat on your board and with a sharp knife, take the top and bottom off in 2 quick strokes. Stand the fruit upright on its new flat base. Now, simply slice the skin off in clean downward strips. Make sure to cut just deep enough to remove those little brown seed indentations, because if you leave them in, they are harsh and prickly in your mouth. If you miss a couple, just nick them out quickly with the tip of your knife. Now forget about those fancy gadgets the catalogs try to sell you to remove the center. Just split the entire pineapple straight down the middle into 2 halves and lay them flat on the board. Look closely and you will see the pale, hard core running down the center. Make a quick wedge cut, slicing down on a shallow angle on one side of the core and then on the other. The hard core lifts right out in one clean piece, and you can throw it to the chickens. From there, you can slice the halves into beautiful half moons for a plate, or chop them across into perfect bite-sized cubes for the children in a matter of seconds. No fuss, no waste, and no delay. A plain life is a deliberate life. It costs you absolutely nothing but a few thoughtful moments of your time to take a deep breath, read the fruit properly in the store, and prepare it with respect and care when you get it home. Tell me down in the comments where you're watching this from and what fresh summer fruits you miss the most when the winter snow sets in hard over your town. My grandson will sit by the wood stove with me this evening and read your answers aloud, and we thoroughly enjoy knowing who we are speaking with. Thank you for your time today, and I will see you in the next one.